Gene with G Squared Tactical. Got Trey over there. He could talk now because we're not on
That's right.
the phone. Anyway, so it's been a long day at the range. So I'm not really trying to hurry through this review as it is a range review. But I have not yet got to do a tabletop on this. So by the time you watch this, you would have already seen the tabletop. So you'll understand why I'm not really going through a whole lot of the features of the gun. I will say, as you will have heard in the tabletop, that Magnum Research 1911 is a 1911 that I have wanted for quite some time. We're using old Spear flat nose ammunition, in case you were wondering. That's all I have. It's all available to me right now. I just never was able to find, you know, what they call the Desert Eagle 1911. This one's the Desert Eagle 1911U, which I believe stands for undercover. It's pretty awesome, man.
That is awesome. I love that.
So I will not say that I was looking for a 3-inch necessarily in a Magnum Research, but in general, I was just looking for a Magnum Research. And I hope to still one day be able to get the more full-size version of this. I guess we'll see. You know, I figured in the climate that we're in right now, with ammunition, guns, and things like that being, especially your more specialized type guns being kind of scarce, I figured while it was available, might as well pick it up. I know this ain't the greatest ammunition in the world, old flat nose stuff, but whatever. I have not shot this gun. I'm really taking a huge risk, not only with how I look as far as how I shoot this gun, but also taking a risk in how it performs, because we did not do any kind of performance test or anything like that off camera. So again, not really going to talk a whole lot about you know, features of the gun or anything like that. It does have an adjustable rear sight. The front sight is a, you know, solid white dot. Nothing fancy about it. It's not a night sight or anything like that. It does, like most 1911s, have the adjustable skeletonized trigger and the nice G10 type grips. It is not ambi in any way. It just has the thumb safety here. And the rear sight is adjustable for windage and also for drift adjustable. So, you know, nothing super special. It's not necessarily packed full of goodies or anything like that. But I've always wanted a Magnum Research 1911. And I've always thought that because of where it was made in Israel, of course, you know, personal safety really means something to them. So it ought to mean something to you guys as well, that we have not shot this gun, and this is my new pride and joy right now. And I'm going to be quite embarrassed if it does not perform well, or if I do not perform well. So here goes nothing. Wish me luck. Well, I think I was pulling it left a little bit at first, but then I pulled it back around to the center. I don't think I'll have to adjust the sights in any way. We have shot a lot of guns today. We have a list here of videos that we've done, and I think we're up to 16 or 17. We've shot everything from a BFR revolver to 45-70 to 38 special, 9mm 22. So that was the first rounds. So it took me a second to pull it in, but I done it pretty quickly, and she was flawless, and she felt good. Real deep thud. I know you're hitting dead. Uh-oh, I wonder what happened there. Blaming the ammo on the heck. That was some bad ammo or something.
Yeah, horrible
I
ammo.
don't know what happened there.
Those 2 rounds.
Yeah, just 2 rounds. The other stuff was good. I will say this, that I have another 3-inch 1911, the SIG 3-inch 1911 with wood grips and everything on it, and it is very similar, looks very similar. This one takes down a little bit differently, a lot easier, I might say. In a lot of ways, I guess it's not like a 1911 in how that it takes down necessarily. I know that this is an adjustable sight, and I realize that, and I realize that's why it's a little bit different, but I do like the rear sight on the SIG a little more than I do this. But I may be wrong about this, as you know, again, we haven't done the tabletop at this point yet, even though you've probably already seen it, but it feels like it's lighter than the SIG 1911 is, the 3-inch. I may be wrong about that, but it feels like it is. It also feels like it manages the recoil a little bit better than that one did. And again, I could be wrong about that as well. I'm just telling you how it feels to me. I'm gonna let old T-Ray take a shot here. See what he thinks.
It's that flat nose ammunition he was talking about. Those 2 rounds were, you know, the ones that were bad.
Yeah.
That's good grouping though. I mean, it 75% dead center. The others just a hair left, but still in that red center point.
And we're standing on this concrete here. We're at about 13 yards. We was about 11 up there. I think we're 12 or 13 yards standing back here on this concrete. So, you know, that's not half bad. I remember when I first started shooting that if I wasn't within 6 or 7 yards, it probably was not going to end well. I was probably going to embarrass myself. So I'd say that I'm definitely a little better than I used to be. However, I was mentioning how that this does not take down like the 1911, the traditional 1911, as in the front, that is anyway. You don't have to push in and all of that stuff and rotate anything. It comes down a lot differently. We will have went over that in the tabletop video, but it does take any 1911 magazine, like all my 1911 magazines do on any other 1911. I actually purchased a couple of Wilson Combats, but 8-rounders, but they stick out a little bit too far, so I ended up using them in another gun. So they will take any 1911 magazines that you want to put in them. I'm gonna walk around here and get the camera and let Trey have a swing at it.
I love the way that pistol looks. I mean, the size of it. I remember when you picked up your other 3-inch, it was something that was really awesome, because you're so used to seeing 5-inch full-size 1911s, and you don't really get to experience the whole world of 3-inch 1911s unless you know about them and are a connoisseur of them, which, you know, I'm not, and I know a lot of other people aren't, because when they think of 1911, their first go-to is like a classic 1911, which is not the pistol, but the pistol is certainly awesome. I like the way it feels in the hand. Made in Israel. I'll get those later. That's like
Yeah,
$10.
yeah. Unless it fails on me, we're gonna blame Trey.
Yeah, I think I might have limp wristed it. So
now, if it fails on me, I'll report it. I don't care.
However,
even if it is a dream gun, if it fails, I will report as much.
Did you see where the others went?
I really didn't. I was watching you.
I saw where they went. You were standing really close when you shot.
No, I was standing on the concrete. That's on the video. Everybody will be able to see it. I know you want it.
With
now.
3-inch, you know, the shorter the barrel, the less rifling. Rifling is what makes your pistols, rifles more accurate. That's why 6.5 Creedmoor is going to go a lot further and travel a lot further than just a little pistol. So you lose 2 inches of rifling as opposed to your 5-inch 1911, but good gracious, that is accurate. That is a true pistol. Wherever you put that front white dot, that's where it's going to go, as long as you don't limp wrist it. Had a guy do that one time.
Yeah.
You know, that was
the ammo, I bet. I bet it was the ammo. We had 2 rounds that just went over the target for some reason, so
yeah.
We had a couple that stovepiped on you, so I don't know what happened there. Everybody wants to see rapid fire. I'm not exactly sure why. I cannot envision a scenario where, you know, where one would be. I don't know. I guess I could envision a scenario, but it seems like everybody wants to see, well, we'll do a rapid fire. You know, like that's really practical as far as like, you know, that's the situation we're gonna find ourselves in one day, apparently, where we'll need to be rapid firing. But I don't know if people want to see that to see how it functions, or, you know, if it's gonna fail. I'm not really sure why people say that, but I am using them two rounds that Trey threw on the ground, just because, you know, ammunition's way too expensive to leave it on the ground. So we'll take another swing at getting it to go down range.
Remember when we used to leave them on the ground if we dropped a 9mm or something?
Right. I know how Trey is. You know, Trey, that's probably in my recollection, that's probably the best that Trey has shot all day. And you know, now he's probably, you know, regretting that, you know, he bought a Zonic earlier today, and he's probably wishing that instead he would have bought him a Magnum Research 1911, because I know how Trey is. Anytime Trey's had a gun that he out of the box shoots fantastically with, if that's a word,
I'll go with it.
he gets overly giddy about it. And so
I can vouch for that.
I know he's sweating my Magnum Research, so I ain't gonna rapid fire this one. I'll rapid fire this one. Yeah.
You do you, Scotty P.
This one's got the 2 bad rounds in there, so I don't tell me what might happen. I don't know. Tell you what, he's not lying about that though. I don't know if you guys can see that target this far away, but I almost hate the rapid fire at that target. I probably won't. I'll probably rapid fire.
I'm gonna get a quick shot before you do that.
But I don't know that we've had a target painted like that all day, but we only had 1 or 2 in the black.
That's a pretty solid target. So we started obviously with your full coat of red in the center, and then on the outside we normally do a black painted rim, and it really came out good. That's a tight group, all centered. I like it. Solid shooting. I will have you guys notice though, you know, he talks about how I stand about right there, right? But if you notice his reach, he's got a heck of a reach on those arms. He's probably reaching past the outhouse. Shoo! Well, they got what they wanted.
So, yeah, they did get what they wanted, but to make my point, if you notice, the first, then the second shot might have grazed the target just slightly. Of course, the first one hit it, but that's the reason why spraying and praying probably ain't the way to go about it. You probably need to, you know, in as much as you can, you need to be strategic and try to put it on target. But it is true, you know, that a gun you shoot well with, you want to keep on shooting it, you know, because why wouldn't you? So
makes you feel better.
Right. And I'm gonna let Trey probably shoot it off camera a little bit, because I know how giddy he is about it. And I did just put 30 rounds of 5.56 Freedom downrange a minute ago. So I'm gonna try to one hand. We've been doing that today. Let's see how that does. Oh, that must have been one of them bad rounds again.
Yeah, it's probably it. It's not the gun, that's for dang sure.
Well, I was shooting with one hand, so I probably limp wristed it a little bit. Why not put a dirty round in there? Let's do it.
13 yards out, one-handed, 3-inch barrel. Okay.
That was the round again, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well,
you definitely want to get you a Magnum Research 1911 is what I'm trying to say. You know, I was shooting it with one hand. Trey limp wrist everything, so he had a couple of bad rounds. But I'm gonna load him up a couple. I'm gonna let him shoot it off camera because I know you probably don't want to sit here and listen to us gab about it anymore. But I really like Magnum Research. I've got several of their revolvers. A couple of them we're going to do some reviews on coming up here pretty soon. And I want one of their 50 AEs. I want one of those like in a bad way. But the one I want is never available because, of course, if you can get it with a rail on the bottom and the top, why wouldn't you? And so the ones that are available usually are the ones that just have the rail on the top, which really doesn't make much sense to me because I want the rail on the bottom for the flashlight. But I'm a big fan of Magnum Research, and when I purchased this, I was telling the guy that I had bought the gun from, or the gun shop where I had purchased it, that I hardly ever saw them. Like, I'm not sure I personally have ever saw a Magnum Research or a Desert Eagle 1911 in a gun shop, and I go to a lot of gun shops. So he says, now again, this is him talking, I don't know this to be a fact, he seemed like he knew what he was talking about, that because they are built in Israel, they build them for their military and police, and you know, it means something to them, is what he said. You know, their personal safety and things really means something to them over there. So they really do build a great gun, and I'm inclined to believe that. And I've never had anything that I have purchased that was made in Israel that was not a fantastic product. So doesn't seem like this is any different. Super accurate at 12-13 yards. I could only imagine it'd be more accurate, even closer than that. So it comes with a gun sock here, which I don't know why I think that's awesome, but it is. You know, gun sock, SOC, yeah, 100% polyester. So all the Magnum Research comes with a gun stock. We definitely can highly recommend this gun. We hope you go out and purchase you one if there's one available somewhere around you. We really appreciate you guys watching. Hope that you subscribe and hit the thumbs up button.